I made us some good salad. I was in such a rush. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us for another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. And some good salad. I'm your host, Saheem the Dream. Back at you guys live to talk wrestling and all of the good stuff. J Mcmahon and the Big Bad Booty Daddy is going to be joining me soon. But while I wait for them to join, I am going to dive right into it because I only have an hour's time and have so much other things to do right now. So I'm gonna just get to it. All right. All right, J Mcmahon is here.
Yes, sir.
Big Bear. All right, here we go. Yes, the gang's all here. Well, not all of the gang, but a quarter of the gang. But yes, we have so much to talk about. It's been a while. It's been a long time. There's been some things that's been going on. We had to take care of some business, but we are back at it again. So much has been going on in the wrestling world that we have to talk about. We'll continue everything else during the week. Right now, in this hour time, we're going to talk about two major topics: The Rock versus Roman, and Vince McMahon scandal. And then we'll get to the other topics concerning, everything else. CM Punk's return to WWE. Who is Seth Rollins going to face? But we may just cover some of those things anyway in this conversation, as some of those things may spill over into other topics. But yes, The Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. As we see right now, what's happening in the wrestling world is that a lot of fans are giving a lot of backlash towards The Rock. As we can see that a lot of fans are not happy as to what's going on because The Rock has now inserted himself into the main event of WrestleMania, him taking on an executive role in TKO, him having executive power over all talent, him having a role that is equal to what Vince McMahon had prior to his departure, and him having been given what I think it was $30 million in stock and an executive board chair role executive chairman role in TKO, inserts himself inside the main event of WrestleMania against Cody Rhodes, who was involved in a very hefty storyline that took place, or that pretty much started a year and a half ago, or not even 2 years ago, right? Because he returned 2 WrestleManias ago for Seth Rollins, started a journey, which was a story into capturing the World Heavyweight Championship. Then a WrestleMania after that, he goes on to fight Roman Reigns. He loses the title. He loses the match. Everybody's still on a journey with him because we believe in this great level of storytelling that's been happening in the WWE. We will finally see the closing of the story, or see an ending to this story. And he hits a roadblock in the name of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
No, you got to say it in the words of CM Punk. He's like, you're right at the finish line to finish your story. And what do you see in the far distance? A guy much bigger than you, a star, much more star power. I'm sorry, I'm misphrasing, but yeah, along those lines. And truth be told, now I guess we can officially say it's been 2 years, because you forget he came to WrestleMania 2 years ago in April. He had 2 matches. We had WrestleMania match with Seth. I think he had 2 more matches. Then the Hell in a Cell match he had. So he was out. So April, May, June. So he's out from June to January. So technically, you could technically say 2 months. 2 years.
Yeah. So 2 years, right? Happy Black History Month, Lana.
Lene, what's going on?
Lene, I'm sorry, Lene. I keep I keep thinking Lana when I see your name, Lene. Happy Black History Month. Thank you for joining us. Cody Rhodes is now. Hold on a second. Let me just line this up properly. There we go. Cody Rhodes has now has his dreams dashed again. No pun intended.
Into a nightmare.
Into a nightmare, right? The American nightmare, right? Another nightmare, right?
Another nightmare for Dashing.
You said what?
Another dashing nightmare for him.
Another dashing nightmare, right? By the name of The Rock Johnson, in his Hollywood star power, and his exfoliated skin and 20-inch pythons coming in and stealing the WrestleMania moment.
23 inch and a half.
23 inch and a half. Right. I want to say this, right? I need to say this, that The Rock has now brought the curse back on himself and in doing so, and as far as inserting himself in the main event. But let me just say this.
I'm the most hated man in wrestling right now.
Most hated man, but he's brought back the Rocky Sucks chance. The curse that he's been trying to push himself far away from, he has been able to do that in so many occasions, but it seems like whenever he gets in the top position, somehow, some way, those chants seem to find him. He's my favorite wrestler of all times, one of my favorite wrestlers of all times, I would say. And I want to say this, is that upon him entering as the main event, well, the reason why he's there fighting against Roman Reigns is because of the Vince McMahon scandal, which we'll get into. And the whole purpose or why they are doing that, and the reason why The Rock inserted himself, from what I'm hearing or what I read or what I heard, what I read, as far as what's been pushed in media, is that The Rock heavily pushed for himself to be in the main event at WrestleMania, to save WrestleMania because it needs saving. And the sad part is that him saying that shows how much lack of trust that they have in the talent that they've been pushing all year round. It takes away the power. It takes away the power. It's slightly disrespectful. And not only that, it's sad to see that he's doing it. Now, I understand, like, my thing is, I understand why The Rock is doing it. I don't think that The Rock, I think that once The Rock gets wind of what's happening, my belief is that The Rock is going to pull himself out of it, or he's going to find a way to push Cody into the main event and have Cody win the title and so forth, and give Cody the storybook ending. He's going to try to find a way to do something like that.
Now, what he can do, now, what would, I mean, obviously they're going to make the official announcement on Thursday during that press conference. Now, what I can do, what I say the right thing for The Rock to do to try to fix all of this is be an enforcer. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, tell Cody, like, hey, listen, you know what I'm saying? I know we spoke, whatever like that. And, you basically last year you had Roman right here. You know what I'm saying? You was a crossroads away from finishing your story, and my family solo interfered. So I want to right that wrong and make sure there's no interference. So either I'm going to be in your corner, or I'm going to be the enforcer, or whatever the case is, and that'll be the right way to fix it. Now, Roman, for somehow Cody finishes the story, and Roman feels Rock costs him the Universal title, and that can lead up to Rock versus Roman, where the fans will be A-okay with that. And what don't like, because they don't want to see the dog. But
and what is your displeasure with this whole scenario that Jay just presented? Cody, just Cody being in the whole situation?
No, Cody's not in the situation. In my situation, I like what's going on right now. Let The Rock go to WrestleMania. Listen, this is what we've been asking for 3 years, and we get it, and now everybody's mad.
Right now, they've
been begging for it. Before Cody got to WWE, they've been begging for it. He's not even part of this bloodline story. He just got there. You understand what I'm saying? He has nothing to do with this bloodline. Sit back, you and that dog, Brandy, whatever her name is. Sit back and watch the great one. The great one's about to show you. This is the first time in WrestleMania history we don't have 2 white people in the main event. Cody actually did. Did black people a favor.
That's not true.
What
was it? Years ago when Sasha and Bianca.
That was night 1.
It doesn't matter. It's still the main event.
But black males. I meant black males. This is the first time black males.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Sasha and Bianca actually
They are the first, but this is the first time black male. This is a male dominated sport.
Headline WrestleMania.
Who?
Cena. Now Cena wants to be black, so we'll give him that.
No, he doesn't. That card and those credentials have been rejected by the African American Society. No, sir.
This is what like I was saying, we got what we wanted. I'm here for it. You know me. I was happy. Yes. I wasn't expecting it. When he said that line, I know somebody that knows you very well. I'm like, who could this be?
So we got some people in the comment section real quick. Lene says, y'all go check out the merch from Chef Drew. I'm sorry, Chef Drew. William Schrader says, what did Cody expect? This is nothing new. That's why he left in the first place. Now he came back thinking he's got them by the balls. No, WWE always had you on a leash. Lene says Ava deactivated her account because of the fans.
Now, I don't agree with that. Like the death threats that she got was unfair. Like, you know what I'm saying? She has nothing to do with what's going on with WWE and Rock and Roman. I mean, Rock and Cody.
You talking about the Rock's daughter?
Yeah. She was receiving death threats. Like they were literally death threats because of what's going on, and she had nothing to do with it. She was like, "Yo,
she's a GM at NXT." She's like, "Yo, I'm working on NXT."
Yeah.
Why is she? Okay, wait. Hold on a second. Let's stop. Hold on a second. Why? This is the crazy thing. Why is she a GM in NXT?
Let me tell you why. Because
she's the Rock's daughter. That's why. I just told you why. She's the Rock's daughter.
No, not true.
It's not true.
No, the reason why she's the general manager for NXT, right, is because one, she was part of Schism. Schism is no longer, you know what I'm saying, a thing because the other two guys they got their release and they're somewhere else. So it don't make sense to have her with Joe Gacy anymore because Joe Gacy is becoming the new Bray Wyatt. So he has his own thing. He has his own thing going on. So that has nothing to do with her. She's not good enough to be a wrestler and be a singles competitor on her own. So they had nothing to do with her. So they was like, all right, let's make you the general manager of NXT because Sean is behind the scenes. So Sean don't want to be on camera. So
you have not provided a good reason why she's a general manager. Why she should be a general manager. There's no good Jason. Jay, you have not provided a good reason. The reason why I'm asking that question because it's like when a person is a general manager, you could like even Sonya Deville, right? Sonya Deville was a former UFC fighter, right? She's trained, she's professionally trained, you know what I'm saying? And not only that, but Sonya Deville is great on the mic. When I look at certain people who were GMs, like even Paige, Mick Foley, Flair, Stone Cold Steve Austin, certain people who were like former GMs, like there's a reason why they were GMs, and it made sense. Her being a GM, no charisma, no praiseworthy in-ring skill ability that we know about or anything, no matches and anything that we know about. She's a general manager simply because she's the Rock's daughter. I am a Rock fan. I'm a number one Rock fan. I'm one of the Rock's biggest fans. And I'll definitely tell you that this moment with him inserting himself inside the pay-per-view, and I understand what's happening, what's going on with Vince McMahon is a disgusting situation, and they're trying to draw attention away from Vince McMahon, from the Vince McMahon scandal, what's going on with WWE, having the biggest a Hollywood star wrestle at WrestleMania. It's a major thing, but at the same time, WrestleMania was fine without The Rock, because whether WWE likes it or not, the fact that Vince McMahon is caught up in this scandal and what we have right here now is it's not going to change the fact that the media is still going to print content on Vince McMahon. It's not going to take away from the attention of Vince McMahon because, number one, Vince McMahon is not just a millionaire. Vince McMahon is a star. He's not the usual boss or CEO of a company. Like, this guy was Vince McMahon has become a legitimate star and entertainer. Okay. Once he stepped inside that ring, did promos and everything, he became a star.
Right. So we get back. So we kind of get away from your point. So look up and down the NXT roster right now. NXT needs a general manager. Since again,
no, they don't. Stop it. They already have one. They have Sean, and
they really do. Son. Sean don't like being on camera because his hair is gone.
And with the door closed.
He so put a hat on and go and dance out there, whatever. They be all right.
can't be on camera no more like that until his AEW. You know what I'm saying, that's over. I mean, he made one on-screen appearance, but outside of that, there's nobody else that you can put, because everybody else that's on NXT, that's a talent they actually can wrestle and they got things going on. She's the only one that you like. Again, you can't put her in a. She fights Lyra Valkyrie. Do you really think Ava has a chance? You know what I'm saying? I don't think she can beat Santino's daughter.
I'm sorry, Jay. I don't mean to interrupt you. But as a general manager, I don't think she has a chance either. Go ahead.
I mean, all thing she has to do is come out and say whatever they write her to say. You know what I'm saying? And she's barely on camera. You know what I'm saying? Like she'll be on camera.
All she does is make matches. That's all she does.
Yeah, but who cares? See, but the thing about it is like when I look at, but again, it's all about. But even if the thing is she just makes matches, right? She just comes out, she makes matches, right? Again, this is entertainment, right? So these general managers have to have some level of charisma. Real quick, Lene says, "House, what wrong with your
my
dog?"
dog barking.
She said, "What's wrong with your dog?"
My dog.
Lene says, "I heard Drew winning the Elimination Chamber, so it might be a triple threat match at Mania."
No,
I'm hearing that it may be Zayn, Drew, and Seth. But I was hoping to be Gunther. I was hoping to be Gunther, and Gunther becomes a 2-time champion. But anyway,
it's gonna be Gunther,
let me just get
Gunther versus LA Knight.
For what?
Well, IC title.
For the Intercontinental title?
That's it.
As long as LA Knight loses, I'm cool with that.
LA Knight's on SmackDown.
No, he ain't losing.
He can't fight.
It's WrestleMania. Anything can happen.
They can do whatever they want, Jay. They ain't got to be on the same brand.
No,
but
and they about to end the brand split at SummerSlam anyway. So,
all right. So,
now.
All right. All right. So, back to The Rock's daughter, right? Okay, I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. It gives us something to do, right? But let me ask you one simple question.
Mm-hmm.
When a talent is not cutting it with the group on their own or with a tag team, what happens to them?
They become BFAB and do nothing until they find out.
Right. Right. And or they just disappear. They just don't get no on-screen camera time, and they just get the boot.
Right, but maybe she works hard and she's just not good enough. So they was like, okay, we don't want to just do you dirty. So let's keep you.
And nobody gets fired from NXT. Even Reginald still has a job at NXT.
That's because Reginald actually has talent. This is the thing.
What? No, he doesn't. He's horrible as a thug.
Y'all realize what's happening? Well, hold on a second. Y'all guys realize what's happening?
Gymnastics.
You do realize
to a black luchador to a thug.
You do realize what's happening to The Rock's daughter, who she's now become, right?
What?
Who?
Say
Stephanie McMahon?
There you go. Think about it. The Rock is he has an executive chair. He has a chair. TKO. He replaced Vince McMahon as a chair. You get me right, Ant? He's an executive. Yeah. He's an executive in TKO.
Right. I see it.
His
daughter is a GM.
But
it's not a position.
But she was a GM before Rock even had a conversation with TKO. She was a GM for a hot little minute.
How long ago was that?
That's how they wheel you in. That's how they wheel them in.
Like 2-3 months before
she was. She's been GM for a while.
You do know how long. Like, okay, so when you talk about businesses and jobs and people moving into positions, it doesn't always happen immediately.
Overnight, yeah.
It doesn't happen overnight. These are like backdoor. Yeah. These are backdoor discussions. Not only is The Rock like an executive chairman of the board, like who has like seniority power, but they gave this guy like $30 million in stock.
Right. He
either 30 million or 300 million or something like that. It was a lot of money in stock they gave him.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. I feel he kind of low-key took Vince's spot. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like I said, she was in power way before. I'm sure she was in power before Rock even had them conversations. Because again, when she was a GM, Vince was still part of the board. You know, this didn't start happening until months after. You know what I'm saying? Because Schism broke up a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? I want to say she was in power around right after Cody made the announcement of bringing back the Dusty Rhodes Classic and all other tournaments. I think right after that, that's when they had that jam-packed NXT for no reason because his first match in AEW. I think I want to say right after a week later or 2 weeks after that.
Like,
manager.
Was that like November?
Yeah, because World's End was in December. Yeah,
November, October. Yeah, I remember that's like around the time Cody made the announcement.
Around that, yeah, when Edge made his debut on that other show.
Yeah,
okay,
so, like, you know what I'm saying? She was a GM.
Well, before we move on, because we had the 25 minutes. Before
so,
we move on,
you don't like that you don't like that The Rock took over this main. You don't like that The Rock took over this main event.
The Rock, because this is exactly how I was going to like kind of close out. Really, my last point before we move on. And if you guys got anything to say about the situation, then I don't. The Rock is my favorite wrestler, bro. Like he's my favorite wrestler. Like, and Jay know he's my favorite. He's my guy. Watching this story, the whole point was that to answer your question, no. What The Rock has done is the same thing that happened to The Rock and Triple H at WrestleMania 2000, right? The Rock and Triple H were booked to fight each other and face each other at WrestleMania 2000. When they asked Triple H what was his biggest regret about facing The Rock, he says having a one-on-one match at WrestleMania 2000. They asked The Rock the same question. What was your biggest regret about facing Triple H? He said, same thing. We had great matches. We performed great together. He said, my only regret is that we never had a one-on-one at WrestleMania, right? Mm-hmm. Vince McMahon did the same exact thing to The Rock and Triple H by adding Mick Foley and Big Show because he didn't feel like that The Rock and Triple H had enough star power to carry a WrestleMania. Meanwhile, because Austin wasn't there, right? Meanwhile, when Austin was gone, their star power was still able to keep the ratings at a high. Even when Austin left, the ratings still stayed high. With The Rock and Triple H doing it, going through their whole feud up until 2000 and all the way up to Austin's return. So the fact that they showing a lack of trust in Cody and Roman Reigns and feel like it's not a good enough pay-per-view event to take away from the attention of the Vince McMahon scandal. Me and my wife was having this conversation, and my wife just said it. She was just like, even if The Rock does show up and does Mania, it's not going to take any attention away from Vince McMahon because they're going to report it anyway. And I said to her, I'm like, that's true. I said, and I was saying to her, I was like, Vince McMahon is a celebrity. He's a star. The guy has a star on a Hollywood Walk of Fame, right? He's a celebrity. That if you got a star on a Hollywood Walk of Fame, you're a celebrity. That in itself is, what I'm saying, it's something that the publicity wants to tap into. It's news. It's newsworthy. So even if The Rock is going to main event WrestleMania, whatever, right? Say after WrestleMania, say he just goes and he fights Roman after WrestleMania, they're still going to be on Vince's behind. They're still going to be tying fire to Vince McMahon because of his scandal, because of how big his name is, how much money he has, and how much history he's created in entertainment. I love The Rock, but The Rock intervening in this situation definitely is disrespectful to the fans. Number one, for us investing our time and our time and expecting us, because again, what we have right now, we're in a great era where we're seeing great storylines unfold. We're seeing the great builds of character. Even Drew McIntyre, as much as I don't like him, I like the development of his character. We watch him slowly turn heel. Right. You know what I'm saying? So we want and again, it's a special thing with Cody because it's not just a storyline, right? We watch the storyline, but it's also watching this prodigal wrestler, this prodigal son who left WWE, came back, who left WWE one way, came back a superstar, somebody that Vince McMahon didn't believe in. Now everybody believes in and they can put their faith in and put their trust in, made himself a superstar, built himself up to come to a moment where he can be crowned as that guy. And then all of a sudden, a guy in the name of The Rock, who used to be the guy, comes in and takes his place and says, no, you don't have enough star power at this moment to distract the fans from what's going on with Vince. I'm going to step in. I'm going to fight Roman, and I'm going to move on with this situation. But me knowing The Rock, I don't know The Rock per se because I don't have his phone number, and we don't talk and we don't do lunch, right?
Yes, you do.
But just saying, right? For fans' sake, me seeing how The Rock has operated as a superstar and him giving the fans what they want somehow, in some way, and again, The Rock has $30 million of stock in the company. If it's in Rock's best interest as a businessman, he wants Cody Rhodes to win the title.
Right.
Why? Because that's good for business. That's another superstar that can carry on the business while Roman takes his hiatus, right? You want Cody to have the belt because that's going to help your stock increase. And I've also heard that ever since The Rock stepped into the whole situation, the stock in WWE has declined like 30% or something like that. But The Rock is a businessman. He's a smart man. And me knowing, seeing how The Rock has always moved with giving the fans what they want in certain instances, because he knows it's about entertainment, and entertainment is about giving the people what they want to a certain degree, to the best degree, I should say. He's going to find some way to move out the way. I don't think The Rock, and the thing about it is from what the rumor is that it's solidified that it's WrestleMania 40. That they're going to fight. That's what PW Insider is saying. They're saying the plans have not changed. This is what's going to happen. That's supposed to be the plan.
So here's my question to all of that. Now, I was reading a report earlier today that Triple H knew of The Rock's plans prior to the Rumble, right? So my thing is this. So us as wrestling fans, and I guess I'm not part of the IWC community, whatever the case is, but from a wrestling fan and from how they're looking at it and thinking about it, the way to finish the story is having that culminating moment at WrestleMania, right? So Cody winning the Rumble was like, okay, he's going to finish the story. He's going to get his rematch. They don't want to see him fight Seth because we saw last every time Seth was like, hey, I want you to fight me, the fans booed every single time. So, yes, they want to see Rock versus Roman. They want to see that more than anything, but they don't want to see it at the expense of Cody. Now, when Triple H knew that The Rock was interjecting himself and changing the WrestleMania main event to himself to be in it, that's when you should have made a call and said, all right, we're going to let Punk win the Rumble. You know what I'm saying? Now, Punk got hurt. So now if Rock would have took that spot over Punk, fans they wouldn't even care. But in order to finish the story, now they're like, okay, damn, now we got to wait a whole nother year for Cody to finish the story. We got to hear about this shit the whole year. If it was in a WrestleMania situation and we would say everybody like, all right, cool, Rock face Roman, gets out the way, now Cody. But the fact that finishing the story means winning the belt at Mania for the fans. And if he don't do it this year, now we got to wait a whole nother year for him to do this. Then we got a whole other year for them. Rock versus Roman doesn't have to be for the belt. I forgot who was talking, who had mentioned that. It don't have to be for the belt. It could be for head of the table or whatever the case is. So, like I said, that's why the fans are so upset because you had Cody and me. You said had this conversation last year, when we was like, all right, we wanted Cody to win, but Cody didn't win because he didn't go through any trials and tribulations to get it. Like he just popped up, won the Rumble, and won the belt. He had no ups, downs, nothing like that. So you know what I'm saying. So then we seen him feud with Shinsuke, Brock, and all these people, and he had his roller coaster ride. So now he's back at that pinnacle. Like, okay, I was there. I messed. I lost. I built myself back. I put myself back together to get back into the main event, and now I gotta wait again because you know what I'm saying. So now I gotta go for, as Roman say, the loser's title because of The Rock's come back. Now, side note, we have to acknowledge Roman was on one on a Friday. I don't know what he had drunk or what he spoke before SmackDown. But he was on 100 that day. I was like, yo, the shots he was throwing at Seth, I was like, Jesus Christ. But at the end of the day, I think that's why the fans are upset. Now, if anybody else would have run a Rumble and then Rock would have intervened, then I don't think we'd be having this conversation. But the fact that everybody's so invested in Cody, he's a top baby face, and they want to see him finish the story, and now it's potentially being pushed back another year, that's going to be the problem. But again, we won't know any real answers until Thursday after the press conference.
All right. So real quick, I hit the comment section. Lene says, I want to see Jay versus Jimmy Uso at WrestleMania. Possibly. I thought Solo was going to be in the Rumble, but I guess not. Hopefully he gets a title shot soon. DJ Faye says they got 1 million fan mark for Cody now because they want him to fight Roman. Lene says, my thing is this. My thing is this: if CM Punk wasn't injured, CM Punk would have won the Rumble. Cody was gonna finish the story regardless and beat Roman. DJ Faye says this: Cody versus Roman at SummerSlam. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this real quick. I think one thing. This is my last comment about the whole Cody thing and Roman. When Cody got in the ring, he said something that was very interesting. He says, "You got to know." He said, "I know I won the Rumble." Blah 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 blah. He said, "You got to know when to move out of the way and let somebody else come in before you can, walk forward," or something like that. Remember, Cody won the Royal Rumble. He can still invoke his WrestleMainia match, right? How they're going to play that out? This is how I see it playing out in some capacity.
No, sir, that doesn't work like that.
Wait. No. It doesn't work like that. But
What do you say?
Again, it doesn't work like that. But what we know is that from what we understand in the past, we've seen John Cena go through a whole elimination chamber and Vince McMahon come out of nowhere and say, "Oh, we got one more contender," and then Batista for the title. You know what I'm saying? We've seen WrestleManias when Yokozuna beats Bret Hart, and then out of nowhere, Hogan says, "I challenge you for the title, brother." And he wins the title. So again, anything can happen. But what I am saying is that being that Cody won the Royal Rumble, he has a negotiating right in some capacity to go to a GM and say, "Listen, I run the Royal Rumble, but I moved out the way for The Rock. Is there any way you can give me a title shot? Do whatever." But anyway, before I don't want to go through the hypotheticals. I just want to go through this thing.
They're going to give him a U.S. title shot against Austin Theory.
No, you have to look at.
Wait. Let me. I'm sorry. Let me just say this. Real quick. I just think that if Roman fights one match at WrestleMania, and if it is The Rock, I think The Rock wins, and I think it's going to be for the head of the table. It's not going to be for the title. If it is for the title, that's going to be a disaster. And then number two, if it's not for the title, Cody Rhodes is going to fight Roman Reigns at Backlash WrestleMania and win the belt.
No,
he may win the belt, but it may not be at Mania.
And it won't. That's Drew's whole point. He won the belt at WrestleMania, and there was no fans there to celebrate with him. You know what I'm saying? That's his whole argument. Because he can win the belt anytime, but he's upset because he didn't win it at Mania to accumulate. You know what I'm saying? That's like the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Like the Lakers won this in-season tournament. Everybody was like, "Oh, all right, cool. You won the in-season tournament. That's cool. Whatever." You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? It's not celebrated to the point of you winning the NBA championship. And that's how it is with this. Like, yeah, Cody can win the belt at any point, but him finishing the story makes 110% to finish the story at Mania in front of those fans to end the night that way. And that's, like I said, it's not going to have the same energy and the same vibe if he wins it at Backlash.
He's going to win it. I'm going to tell you right now. There's no way. I bet anybody on here, I bet anybody in this live, $10, $20 or whatever. I ain't betting you $100 because if I owe you $100, I ain't trying to pay you. I'm gonna let you know right now. Bet you anybody, right? Let's say $5. Let's do crackhead prices. Bet you $5, right? Anybody here $5, right? Anybody here $5, right? That Cody's going to win that title at Mania. There's no reason why.
He's not winning that title, bro.
Bro, he's winning that title at Mania. I don't know how they're going to do it.
Listen, it's not happening at Mania. It's going to happen at Survivor Series.
Nah, it's going to happen. Huh? That's like
listen why it's going.
It's like November.
Listen why it's gonna.
It's like November. We talking about.
Listen why it's gonna happen at Survivor Series, right? Listen, man. Let me break this down. Let me break this down, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen at Survivor Series. It has a lot to do with his dad. That's why. All this is going to Survivor Series is in the Garden, right? Okay. The Garden is where his dad supposedly won the title and they got it taken away from him. So they created Survivor Series because WCW created Starrcade. Who created Starrcade? Dusty. That's how you finish the story.
No. Cody, I mean, I see your logic.
Even though I don't want him to
sense.
finish the
It makes
story,
sense.
but
I ain't hating on it. I'm not hating on it. I'm not hating on it at all.
But to hear Cody for
and
another,
then it keeps the "We Want Cody" movement. It makes it stronger than the Yes movement ever was. That "We Want Cody" movement all the way to Survivor Series. Come on.
So you think if Daniel Bryan would have won the belt at Survivor Series or SummerSlam, it would have had the same impact as him winning that Mania?
Hell no.
Yeah, no, it was different. That's different, Daniel Bryan. That was different.
It's different. He's talking about the history behind Survivor Series. But Lene says real quick, I'm sorry, Drew deserves another title. DJ Faye says it said if you won the Rumble, you got a title match at WrestleMania 40. Okay.
Exactly, DJ Faye. That's why I said the word.
I'm telling you, Cody's gonna win that Mania.
He's not winning.
If Cody wins that Mania, y'all gotta give me my due.
I want him to win that
bro,
Mania.
I would get the tattoo, bro, on my chest.
I promise you, he's winning that. I promise you, he's winning that Mania. I know y'all like I know y'all like he's crazy. Yo, this dude's crazy.
I would tattoo American Nightmare on my chest.
I want him to win that Mania. Don't get me wrong. I want him to win that Mania. I just don't want him to win Seth's title because so here's the thing that people. So everybody's saying, like I had a conversation with one of my friends yesterday. He was talking about even my girl. Like
wait, Jay, hold on a second. William Schrader says Reigns isn't losing. They're all too focused on shoving the title down our throats. And Lene says, preach, Jay.
Well, fact. So I was having a conversation with one of my coworkers the other day, and they was like, "Yo, why don't Cody just challenge Seth? It's a belt." I said, "No, it's not just a belt because." The like me you say all the time, side like the universal title that Roman has lineage, it has prestige, it has history. That belt that has is like, okay, we're gonna make a belt because nobody can beat Roman, so we're gonna just give you a belt. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, Seth is the only person that ever had that belt, so it has no and it hasn't even been out for a year, so it doesn't have no prestige, it doesn't have nothing behind it. You know what I'm saying? So it's conscious more, you know what I'm saying, traction than the heavyweight title that Seth has. You know what I'm saying? So for Cody to win that, it would make no sense. Like I would feel like we got cheated. So he has to win the belt that Roman has.
No, absolutely, 100%. I definitely agree with you. DJ Faye says Cody going to do a Seth. He said Cody's going to do a Seth move. Lene says y'all forgot about Damian Priest. We know Damian Priest ain't cashing in nothing. If he does, it'll be a sad day. DJ Faye says triple threat match.
Yeah, I mean, Priest is already set on cashing on Seth. He has no intention or even thinking about cashing it on Roman. So his goal is to try to take the belt from Seth. So that's
I don't even think he's gonna He's gonna cash in on Gunther.
Nah, no, you're not. Why Intercontinental Gold? He already had United States Gold. Last subject before we close out. Vince McMahon scandal.
Yeah.
Sticky subject. The Vince McMahon scandal. Some of you guys have been looking into what's been happening with Vince McMahon getting all these accusations against him concerning now this ties into the Rock coming into fight Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40 and why The Rock inserted himself. They said The Rock heavily inserted himself or heavily pause. The Rock heavily positioned that he be in position to, whatchamacallit? Oh, I put Sandal. My bad. I did spell Scandal. Where is he? Let's leave it at Vince McMahon. Whatever. Let's take this off. All right. Anyway, don't make fun of my. It's still popping up. What the heck? Okay, there we go. All right. Anyway, don't make fun of my spelling. DJ Faze, I can spell. All right. I was just in a rush. All right. Look. So back to what I was saying. Vince McMahon. So what's happening with Vince McMahon as far as him being in this whole scandal. Okay, what do y'all think about this whole situation with Vince?
Yeah, I
Or what
think
do
it's
you
a
think?
whole bunch of BS. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, we just know Vince is just horny, and it just came out to the public that he's horny. The girl seemed like she was okay with everything until people started to find out. You know, I just feel Vince is just a horny old man, and his text message got out there in the public. That's how I look at it. Like, okay, he was sharing the girl. Okay, all right, there's nothing wrong with a train here and there. Everybody once in a while ran a train together. You know what I'm saying?
Wait. Hold on. Wait. Say that again. He says nothing wrong with
A,
what?
a train. The Godfather used to. The Godfather used to come out and promote.
I just wanted you to repeat it again. I was like, what did you say? Oh, okay. That's what he said.
Listen, the Godfather used to come out and promote whole trains, man. We forgetting what the Attitude Era was like. Nobody never thought they would check to see what's really going on with Vince then. Like, then nobody thought about it then. But listen, like I was saying though, his text message got out into the public, bro. He's just a horny old man. Just like how you said with the Hogan situation, it was a private conversation and it got out to the public. He was having a private. He didn't say nothing wrong in them text messages. He was just on some freaky deaky old man stuff. He's 80 years old. He's
Real
80 years old. He's,
Real
living. He's living out his life. How you think Brock Lesnar and Sable? No, I've been saying this for the longest. That's not weird that Brock is married to Sable after what happened with her and Vince.
Now,
nobody finds that weird.
Now, I shared to the group earlier today. So Stephanie, it was an old interview with Stephanie when she mentioned that Vince approached her and was like, "Hey, I want to have a storyline where you're pregnant and I'm the father," and she was like, "What?" No, she was like,
that.
"Yeah," she was like, "Yo, like you're my dad. I mean, I gotta kiss you." No, I'm not comfortable with that. He was like, "All right. What about Shane?" And she was like, "Ew, that's my brother." Like, no.
Listen, even Kurt Angle said it. Kurt Angle said when he did that one scene with kissing Stephanie, he said Vince was behind the camera drooling like a pit bull, foaming from the mouth. Like, do it, kiss her, Kurt. You know, like, like, come on.
All right, well, real quick. DJ Faye says you spelled scandal wrong. Lene says, "Oh Lord, did y'all see the Bella Twins tweets?" Nah, I ain't see those.
That too. He was hitting that too.
Who?
Honestly, to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised. Is have his own channel on Pornhub, and he's
I'm there. All the WWE divas is on that.
Wait, hold on a second. DJ Faye says Vince got the feds on him. Lene says, did y'all watch back in 2002 segment when Vince versus his daughter? And then it says DJ Faye says, ain't you about to be in Vince Rico? Oh, he's about to be in Vince Rico charge. He was like, "Yo, let's you feds gonna be on you." He's like Anthony Cobbs.
Like I said,
him too.
He's a horny he's a horny old man, bro. He's 80. What? Vince 81. Come on, man.
Yeah, let me say. So hold on a second. So real quick. So let me say this, right? So this is the thing about the whole situation with Vince and this girl, right? So apparently, right, Vince, the girl was supposed to be down on her luck. Let me just go through it. So for some of you guys who don't know what happened or don't know what's going on, most of you guys probably know. You guys are wrestling fans, so you guys know. But let me just kind of brush past it real brief. The girl was down on her luck. She had a friend who knew Vince McMahon. Both her parents died. She was down on her luck financially. She was looking for a job, looking for a better means of income. So she contacted a friend, had to talk to a friend about what was going on. Her family died. She was low on money. She needed a job. The friend said, talk to Vince McMahon. He's looking for an assistant or whatever. He can, potentially help you out, right? We don't know. Now, as this relationship pans out with this girl, we don't know what kind of conversation or what kind of friend she had that she would refer her to Vince McMahon, potentially knowing his nature, because we don't know if she knew his nature, but she probably did, right? So she was like, your parents died, you got no money, you need some money. Vince McMahon is rich, he's a freak, you hit him up, He's a sugar daddy. He's gonna take care of you. That could have been a situation because women talk like that. Don't get it. You know, women talk like that. He's a freak. He's a freak. He gonna hit you off. You gonna take a few bananas, and he gonna pay you right. You know what I mean?
Just let him slap your butt. Just let him slap your butt.
Just let him smash your butt. Just let him touch your nipple. That's all. Just let him touch it, right? Just let him touch it, right? So, long story short, she hits a Vince. She has a meeting with Vince. Her and Vince talk. Vince comes on to her. He comes on to her. Then after he comes on to like maybe 2 or 3 times, he has inappropriate meetings with her where he's greeting her in his boxers and then sometimes in his robe and then and grinding on her a little bit.
Wait,
then
he's walking around the Stanford office in his boxers?
It was at his house, actually. First they met in the office, and then he told her to come by the house, right? She go by his house. Then he started greeting her. Then he started meeting her in his boxes and in his robe. And then he propositions her. And he says, listen, I'll give you a job here at WWE. You get paid X amount of dollars to do this job. She says, I'm not qualified for the job. How will people believe that I'm qualified for the job? He said, we'll make it believable. You get paid X amount of dollars, and then I'll take care of you. And he says, I want to engage in a sexual relationship with you. I find you attractive, XYZ, da 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 da. He propositions this to her. She's a grown adult who's 20-something years old. She consents to it. They have this relationship. All this crazy stuff happens, right? At the end of the relationship, he agrees to pay her $3 million, right? He stiffs her on like $2 million or something like that. He pays her $1 million, doesn't pay her the other $2 million or maybe something more, whatever it is, but he owed her some money. He stiffs her on the money. After they ended the relationship, the other girl who recently filed the lawsuit last year, she filed a lawsuit, won some money. Now, all of a sudden, this girl comes out of nowhere, says, oh, back in 2020, from 2020 to 2022, me and Vince McMahon had this relationship. This is what happened. And he didn't pay. And then after all this stuff happened, he didn't pay me X amount of dollars, right? That's just the whole situation.
Right.
My thing about that whole situation is sound like what was crazy about it is the first, like when I heard the story, right? It was like, I think I heard the story. DJ Faye says you're skipping part. Wait, you skipping part. Skipping part of the story. I was just trying to hit some of the major points or whatever.
Yeah, forgot about Brock.
I mean, yeah, Brock was included in it, but I just wanted to talk about Vince in certain areas because the major thing I wanted to really talk about really is that, like, when you guys hear the story, right? But DJ Faze, you can like type it in and let me know what part you want to mention. But yeah, Brock was mentioning it because apparently Vince McMahon was using her sexual pictures and sending it to Brock to solicit him to come back and wrestle. I don't know about y'all, but if I'm getting paid millions of dollars to beat people up, and I have all the money in the world where I could potentially pull just about any female in the world, right? Why would pictures of a naked woman encourage me to come back to wrestle? I don't know why. Doesn't make any sense unless he was doing something with her. You know what I mean?
First off, Vince was going to give her the event. So Brock was supposed to actually link up and smash Shorty. You know what I mean? They were exchanging conversation and all that. But what happened was, I think it was a snowstorm where his flight got canceled. And that's the reason why he never got a chance to link up with her. But he was actually supposed to link up with Shorty and handle his business. Now, granted, that's not a real reason, or that's not the reason why you per se somebody would sign. But imagine if you're Brock or you're anybody. All right, let's say it's your job, right? Like, let's say your old job, be like, hey, Sai, listen, I got a situation where I got, you know what I'm saying, like, all right, boom, we're gonna increase your pay. If you want you to come back, we're gonna increase your pay, boom, boom. Oh, and by the way, we got this joint that you can knock down anytime you want. You know what I'm saying? She's cool with it. You know what I'm saying? They send you pictures like, yo, what you think about it? She's attractive. Yo, anytime you want, you got it. You like, damn, I get extra pay and I get to smash anytime I want. You know what? That don't sound like a bad idea. I'm on the road most of the time, so I'm not with my wife all the time. Yeah, she can come with me, but you know what I'm saying? She has our kids, so she's not gonna be there most of the time. But I can got this chick I can knock down anytime I want. You know what? That don't sound like a bad gig. You know what I'm saying? So that would be like the because we gods at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So that will be like the determining factor. Not saying it's a huge determining factor, but it wouldn't have you consider like, damn, okay, well, I got this on a regular. All right, you know what?
It would be the icing on the cake. Danae says, she says, I mean, I've been new about this stuff. Look at what he did in the 90s. Sean says, all right, the tribal G is in the building. Let's talk. Let's talk, Keys. Bro, you came mad late. but we still on some good topics though. We still on some good topics. So we talking about the whole Vince McMahon thing, Sean. About the whole scandal.
But was there something wrong with what he did though?
So no, so this is the thing I wanted to talk. This is one of the things I wanted to mention, which was pivotal to me, right? When you hear the story, right, about how he meets the girl, they have a conversation in his office. He invites her to his house, right, to have another conversation. This is before he solicits her for sex.
Right.
Things get inappropriate when he invites her to the house. Then when he invites her to the house, he starts coming out, presenting himself a bit inappropriately. And then after he presents himself inappropriately, he propositions her for a job and for sex. And then she accepts, right? So here's my thing, right? Then it's like, then after, like when I hear that at the beginning of the story, and then I hear everything that happens to her, my mind just keeps going back to, well, hold on a second. She was a grown adult. Any woman, right? Any woman that goes on a date with a guy, right? They go on a date with the guy. Me and Jay was talking about this. I said, listen, any female that goes on a date with a guy, they go out for drinks. Guy says, hey, come back to my place. They go back to his place, right? He says, you know what? I'll be right back. I'm just going to take care of something. I'm going to take care of something real quick. I'll be back with you in 5 minutes. He goes in a room. He said, no, don't say it. he said, no, don't say it. I got to say it. I got to say it, Keys. I'm going to say it. He goes in. I'm not going to go too far. He goes in a room. He comes back out. He has a robe on. And he says, hey, how you doing, baby? Da 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 da. Come here, come give me a hug. Any woman will call him a creep and leave. The woman's going to do two things. Either she's going to look at him as a creep and say, no, this is inappropriate, and she's going to leave, or she dropping the drawers and something's going to happen. He's smashing. One of two things. He's smashing or she's leaving, right? My thing is that when she was there and he presented this to her, she consented.
Right. So
I'm sorry, Jay. I don't agree with what, I'm not saying I agree with what Vince did. I'm not agreeing with anything that Vince did. You know what I'm saying? What Vince does is his business. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I care if he's a piece of crap human being. But my thing is that the fact of the matter is that she consented to the relationship, did all this stuff, and then at the end, it was like, you owe me this. Da 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 da. I'm sorry, Jay. Go ahead.
So you think that's why he had the mustache? So he thought that she wouldn't recognize him because he had a mustache? Nah, I'm joking.
he was like, maybe they were.
so all right. So I have 2 points. So the first point, like the text messages, like you know, like we all said, she consented to it because she was like, yeah, baby, I can do that, and he's like, I got some guys. So I showed the guys the video, and she was like, oh yeah, that's cool. So she was with everything, but like you said before, and like Sean said, power. And money and power. So you said she was down on her luck. She just lost both parents, so she needed bread. You know what I'm saying? So so that's when it comes to the manipulation phase, where in grooming phase that she really, because she felt if she didn't do this, she wasn't gonna make money. You know what I'm saying? Because again, the money that Vince was giving her, she's like, damn, like I can make X $1 million. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna make that because most of us don't make $1 million a year. You know what I'm saying? Or even in a lifetime. So the fact that she getting all this money up front or promises bread, she's like, oh shit, okay. Well, yeah, I may have to do some things I'm not comfortable with, but fuck it. Like, you know what I'm saying, what job do that, you know what I'm saying, that your job makes you do things that you like, I don't want to do that, but you have to do it because it's a job. You know what I'm saying? So she might have felt that I had to do this, even though I'm uncomfortable with it, I don't want it, but you know what I'm saying, if I don't do this, I may not be able to get a high profile job again. So now, you know what I'm saying, so I went from working from Vince McMahon as his assistant to being a fry cook at Burger King. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't go from that. You know what I'm saying?
All she had to do, listen, she could have said no, but she decided to get hit with the RK Johnson. You heard?
Vince
Okay, hold on a second. Let me hit this comment section real quick. Key says money and power intimidate and trump a lot. Good point. DJ Faye says she sued Vince and settled with an NDA, and he made the first payment, and then when Vince got caught, the first time, he stopped paying, but he was forcing her to have sex with other people.
Right. So she owed him. I mean, so Vince messed himself up by not, you know what I'm saying?
Did he force or did he ask? Oh, in the text message, he said, "Yo, Big Johnny trying to jump on the train." She said, "Oh, okay. Tell Big what day is Big Johnny free?"
Now my man Vince, like, yo, he said John wants Saturday, but his normal
Thursday. Saturday, yeah. Big Johnny, you know what I'm saying? And now Big Johnny, you see, Big Johnny came out and said Vince was hitting him too. You heard him?
All right, so Lene said I would have been like deuces. Sean Key says Vince is a very powerful man who can blackball her from a lot of jobs.
True, that's it, Sean.
DJ Faye says Vince was grooming her. And Key says she was emotionally vulnerable and he took advantage of that. So now hold on a second. I agree that you can be in an emotional and vulnerable place as a person, and people will be as wolves and can prey on you, right? But when you understand, or you're in a place where there is a cycle of abuse, or you understand that there are red flags that will put you in a place of where you can enter into a cycle of abuse. My question is that where does a line of accountability start? Because one thing I hate about certain situations when it comes to victimhood is that if we're talking about grown adults who consent to certain relationships, it's just like when you consent to a relationship, you have to be now held accountable for something that you agreed to, right? That's like you signing your soul to the devil and then saying, well, I didn't know that he was going to take me to hell. Doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, again, you know, the guy was come on, like, if she, think about it, even though she was vulnerable and she was in a vulnerable state and in a vulnerable place, right? You think she still would have been in the hotel room? Like, you think she still would have went back to the hotel with some random dude from the club that went in the room, came out in a robe and said, "Hey baby, come here, come give me a kiss." You think she would have went for that? She probably wouldn't have. She probably would have ran out of the room and went home.
But a random dude, you don't have money and power like Vince does. Like, for instance, but that's exactly my point.
So she knew exactly what she was consenting to. Not saying that she knew what she was going to go through when she consented to it. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is that she consented to a relationship not knowing. She consented to a relationship knowing that she was going to be used sexually, but didn't know the extent of.
I'm sure her homegirl told her. I'm sure her homegirl told her what was in the procedures.
Right, exactly. And the other thing is that she knew she sold her soul. Anybody that comes and propositions you for money that involves you humiliating yourself or giving up a piece of you that you don't agree with giving up with at that moment, you know what I'm saying? And you got to humiliate yourself and go through a degradation with that person. And that person says, I want you to wind your body up while I piss down your throat. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you're being humiliated. You know what I'm saying? You know you're being humiliated. And then after they finish, they throw you $10,000 and say, all right, now get out of my face. You're doing it for money. You knew what you agreed to before you did it. And now you do it. And then you can't say, oh, I didn't know when he pissed on me, I was gonna get pink eye. Like, come on.
I got a perfect scenario for you. Here's a perfect example, right? And don't laugh at me.
I'll try not to, Jay. I try not to laugh. Okay.
So remember Lion King when Mufasa died and Scar pulled up on Simba and was like, "Yo, look what you did." Simba was an emotional wreck. Like, I just lost my dad. My dad don't want to wake up. So Scar's like, "Look what you did." Like, wait, huh? What do you mean? He's like, "You killed your dad." Like, you know what I'm saying? If you was never out here, your dad wouldn't have tried to save you. So run, just get out of here. You know what I'm saying? And Simba ran, and he was trying to hide from that. So maybe this is the same situation with Shorty. Like, you know what I'm saying? She like we said, she was in an emotional space. You know what I'm saying? Vince kind of promised her the world and promised all his money. Like, damn, okay, well, you know what I'm saying? I lost my parents at 20. Like, imagine. Well, I can't imagine losing my parents at 20, but you can't really take care of yourself. You really don't know the world like that. You know what I'm saying? So you probably got somebody that's offer you all this money. You're like, okay, well, with this money, I can do this. I can have a better life, and I can actually fend for myself. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, you're going to do things that you're not really happy with because you're getting, you know what I'm saying, bread like that.
Right. So, real quick, DJ Faye says, nah, it's the paperwork. He cornered. Wait, it's the paper. It's the paperwork. He cornered her in the office and told her to smash Johnny. I'm not. Listen, DJ Faye. Everything he did, everything that happened after she agreed to say, okay, I'll go along with it. Because think about it. When she said to him, when she says to Vince McMahon, when Vince McMahon has in the office and he's like, listen, I want you to be my sex girl and da 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 da. She could have said, okay, left the office, never returned his phone calls, blocked his calls, and just didn't go back. Why are you going back? You can call the cops, you can give a police report. Understand they may or may not do anything, but nonetheless, it's still reported that Vince McMahon assaulted you. Move on with your life. Go to another city. Go to another town. Go somewhere. Get a job somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is that to sit there and say, now, Sean Key says, remember, women emotions are different than ours. Women's emotions are different than ours, but they're not little children. You know what I'm saying? Women, you've been talking about women, men and women. Men and women have to be held accountable in a court of law and in a court of life. Like if a grown adult woman is driving a car and she's drunk and she hits somebody, that's called vehicular homicide. She made a decision to get drunk, get in the car and drive the car, and that car hit somebody and killed somebody. That person needs to be held accountable. We're talking about a grown adult. And this is not like a 12-year-old or a 15-year-old or a teenager. Brain is not fully developed where they don't understand psychological manipulation at that certain degree.
You're telling me she was okay with getting a reverse Styles Clash from Vince?
I'm saying that she knew what she was getting herself into when she got into, and she could have simply just walked away.
Yep.
She said she could have walked away. We're not talking about somebody who was showing up to her house with a gun and saying, if you don't get in this limousine, you're fired. You know what I'm saying? Like,
listen, when he had her in the, all she had to do was tap out when he had her in the sharpshooter. It would have been over.
She had a rope break. But yeah, so you know? I mean, honestly, but if you really want to be like real fair and transparent, like technically at 20, you're not really an adult. You know what I'm saying? Because you really don't know so much. You know what I'm saying? So you're technically still a kid at 20. You know what I'm saying? If you really think about it, because you really don't really fully understand life. Now, some people are different, but you don't understand life or how things rotate or work until you're at least like 25. You know what I'm saying? And higher. Because again, you know
tell that to a judge.
You said who?
I said tell that to a judge.
No, I would say to a judge, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, at the same time, like, I mean, you're gonna make decisions at 20 that, you know what I'm saying, they're like, oh, okay, that's cool, you're still having fun, you know what I'm saying? But because even now, if you be like, oh, yeah, I did this when I was 20, I'm like, oh, you were still a kid, you know what I'm saying? So at 20, yeah, you're at 21, technically you're an adult at 21, you know what I'm saying? But at 20, you're still living like, oh, I'm having fun. You're not really looking at life and
not in a quarter.
As you know what I'm saying, looking ahead and establishing the future and stuff like that, and building your foundation at 20. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real. So at 20, you're gonna make rash decisions. You're gonna make, you know what I'm saying, irrational decisions, and you're gonna, you know what I'm saying, go based off what sounds good. You know what I'm saying? So when you're 20, somebody and you had this old lady that was like, let's say Linda McMahon comes to you and is like, yo, listen, I got a position for you. You know what I'm saying? At 20, she's like, yo,
I'm hitting that.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm gonna tell you right now.
She's worth.
Young
she's not hearing this. I'm gonna tell you right now. Linda McMahon came to me And we talking about $1 billion Linda McMahon. She came to me.
Yeah,
She was
$1
like,
billion
"Listen,
Linda.
you tall chocolate man." She was like,
Yep.
and she like, "I want you to knock the Bengay off this booty." I'm gonna be like, "Listen," I'm gonna be like, "Hold on a second." And she's like, "I'm charging you. I give you all this money and da 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 da. If I'm single, it's gonna be hard for me not to decline that."
Yeah.
If she's
It's gonna be
saying she's
hard
gonna
not to
give me
frog
X
splash
amount
in
of
that.
dollars, listen. And the funny thing about it is, this is the thing. This is the thing. I said, you know what she said? She told about she gonna sell me to Linda McMahon. She said, what day? She said, I may not come back. You won't get some money in the mail, but I ain't like, when you coming home? I'm like, never.
I'm about to buy an island right now. What do you mean come home?
Just looking at it,
Right.
she's like, damn, all I gotta do is sell side, you know what I'm saying? And all our problems go away, all our debt is good. Yo, go ahead, go do your thing, play.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what do you think,
player?
player? So you know what I'm saying? But my thing is, this is a thing. Women, this thing about it. This is the thing, right? Because I don't want this to come off as me being me just like me targeting women, but I'm just saying that the reality is that women, we have women who look for sugar daddies. You have women who look for you have women, or just not even just women, but people in general look for, people look for more money, or look for the look for a
right?
come up. You said what?
All right, let's just say, right? Vince McMahon comes to you. Vince McMahon.
Okay, Vince McMahon. I'm gonna call you back, best friend.
And Vince McMahon, and it's like, hey, look, I'm gonna need you to do this, and I'm gonna give you X amount of money to do it.
Okay.
Vince is powerful. He has millions. Are you gonna tell him no? Now, okay, let's say you're 20-year-old Ray. And he's like, yo, I'm gonna offer you bread. I'm gonna offer you X amount of $1 million
To do what?
to be my personal assistant. But from time to time, you may have to do sexual favors for me. Now, you just lost both parents, so you're in a mental space
Is
that's
it just Vince or Owen?
20. This is
Nah, is this Vince with the muscles? Or
See again, that's the thing, right? Again, that's the thing.
at the time he had right. She has a valid point.
What she say? What happened?
She says, is it Vince with the muscles or is it current Vince? Now, mind you,
We talking about current Vince who looked like a shaved puppy. We talking about wrinkly old Vince McMahon with his wrinkled penis. We talking about Vince with the extra skin. That's what we talking about. If Vince with the extra skin came to you and said, "Yo, I want you to give me this, da 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 da. I will take care of your room, your board, and I will pay for everything." Would you do it?
But what I gotta do to him?
Whatever he asked
What happened to him?
Nah, whatever is
Yeah,
alone.
That's it. That's it. That's the
wrestling
deal.
moves,
Yes,
all
yes,
types
yes,
of
or
stuff
no.
might happen to you.
Yes. Are you taking the deal? Yes or no?
So, okay, yeah, he said, would you do yes or no?
Not if it's I have
He's gonna
to
have
do
you dressed.
But so
He's gonna have you dressed like Sable.
the extent of what Vince was doing was,
And it's a direct listen. It's a direct deposit. It's a direct deposit of cash.
McMahon be my sugar daddy. Sure, why not?
Oh, okay.
But you got to do whatever he tells you to do. So that means that you got to smash one of his homeboys. If that means that he got to take a dump on your head while you're in the middle of a threesome. If that means that he got to put toys in your butt that named after famous wrestlers like The Undertaker, AJ Styles, The Rock.
The arcade dildo. You gotta do it. The arcade dildo. Here, take the arcade dildo.
The arcade dildo.
Here comes the arcade dildo.
That's
Tombstone.
He's coming off the top ropes.
Oh, Vince McMahon is coming off the top rope with an elbow.
That's fine.
He's hulking up. He's hulking up.
Wait, hold on a second. What did you say?
She said if she has to be his sugar, like for him to be her sugar daddy, that's fine. I'm like, well, you gotta give up your sugar. She's like, that's fine. So
Okay.
Again, great. No, great. And I'm glad.
Well, let's keep it a man. Because I'm gonna insert something because I kind of know what y'all talking about, like this man doing that stuff with them girls. But I feel like this, right? If young girls, back in the day, and even more so now, are always looking for, kept relationships or to be a sugar baby. And there's really no difference in a sugar baby and a regular relationship besides the fact I don't have to be emotionally responsible for you. So like it's a win-win situation when the arrangement is what it is. But I will say this: if you enter into a willing agreement to be somebody's sugar baby or just to be like, hey, I'm gonna give you money for you to do this, then you made that choice on your own. If you were groomed into it or you underage or something, then I vouch for you. But if you're a woman of age who wasn't groomed into nothing and you're just doing it because you want the money, then you made that choice for money. Because people gonna always do things for money. You see that in every industry. People that have sex with record executives in order to move up the ladder, and that's the choice that they made. They slept with that person in order to get their career. That's the choice that you make in order to get there. That's between you and your creator. That ain't got nothing to do with me. However, what you're not gonna do is party, have a good time, have all the mollies, and do a line of coke off somebody's ass because you wanted to, and then be mad at me later in life because you shouldn't have done it. So you made that decision. You popped that pill in your butt.
All right. So right. But again, that's my point. My point is that was my point. My point is this: is that the issue with that whole situation that concerned her was I'm not saying that okay, matter of fact, let me get to the comment section before I even go into all that. Let's see. DJ Faye says, bro, he says Vince is more powerful. Wait, Vince is more powerful. He got a dude off for murder. Money talks. Lene says, is she the new Christian Rock? She's talking about the girl. She said, oops. She says, I would pass on the offer because I'm already a rich auntie. Oh, Lene got money. Henry said, send the link. I sent the link. Henry's there. He says, per Aunt, who's right here, says, Aunt Mike got y'all canceled tonight. And that was you. Why did you write that in the chat? But listen, this is the thing. That's my point. My point is this. My point is the fact that she did it for money. She did it for cash. That was it. And was the sad part about it was that she knew. It's like, first off, if an old man is coming to you, he got money, he got power, he got fame, and he's propositioning you for sex. He's like, I'll be my sugar baby. I'll pay you XYZ. And you see things are going too far. That she was a grown woman. She got enough money from him and had enough cash that she could have saved up and walked away. She could have quit her job. She could have went to another city. She didn't have to be with Vince. She didn't have to be around Vince. But Vince didn't do it. The issue is that she knew what she was doing for money. She knew she was doing what she was doing for money. And to say that, if he like, forced himself on her, that's wrong. I don't agree with that at all. However, if he's saying to her, listen, I got my homeboy John Laurinaitis who wants you on Tuesday for lunch. After lunch, he wants you in that hotel room, face down, buns up. I want you in that room. She, as a grown adult, can say, you know what? No, I'm not doing this. This is too much. I'm leaving. I'm done. He can text all he wants. She got an iPhone. She could block him. Boom, you're blocked. I'm hopping on a plane, going to Michigan, going to Chicago, whatever. I'm done with this. Don't contact me no more. She
Yo,
made
I
enough
wonder-
money
I
being with
wonder
this
what-
guy to stop,
Yo,
but she didn't.
I wonder when him and John Laurinaitis would hit in there at the same time. Did they come out to like Road Warriors theme music and shit?
They did the power trip.
They coming out to the Rockers theme music.
They did the power trip.
Came like
They
the
did
Ultimate Warrior.
Coming out like demolition.
Hey, where's Keys at?
He was here,
He's
but he
in the
left.
Yeah, hey, look. I challenge Keys at WrestleMania, man. Make that shit
Man, I think he
official,
got it
man.
up. Let me see. Hold up, right now. I'll tell you where he at.
Make that shit official.
Let me check
DJ
Twitter.
Faye says y'all going to be in that Rico. DJ Faye says WTT the new YSL.
Man, chill.
Howard says laugh out loud. All right, but it's 1:20. It's hour and 20. We about to leave. Henry, you came mad late. I told you to come. You want to watch
Mad late.
basketball, but
Yeah, I was
Bum ass Nets. You was watching
you
the
want to
Nets?
watch the Nets game.
Yeah.
I told you to come on, but you playing around. You playing these games.
Yeah. Man, you didn't even send the
I'm
link
not
to
at all.
it. You didn't even send the
Because
link
you said
to
just
it.
watch it. But you didn't say send the
Because
link.
you
watch
always
the
send the link. You always send the link to the group.
I
so.
did drop it in the chat, but I was like, I'm gonna just drop it to Jay and Ant because they said he was coming on.
Dang, man, that's crazy.
If you would have said you were gonna come on, I would have dropped it and sent you the link.
All I need is a minute, man. I just want to make this shit official. I want you, Keys. I want you. Where's the camera? I want you, Keys, at WrestleMania for the WTT World Heavyweight title. I want you to shut up and to finally prove who is the god of wrestling in this damn chat.
I gotta watch it on
This-
Discord right now.
This motherfucker always thinking he's fucking right when he's not.
So what are you arguing over? What's the issue?
It's gonna be not. It's no argument. It's gonna be a prediction. He predicts his shit on WrestleMania. I predict my shit on WrestleMania.
So what's
And
the
we're
prediction?
it's gonna prediction for the world heavyweight title. I want his ass, and for him to finally shut up that he's not always right. I already retired. I already retired Trav.
So what was your prediction?
No, we're gonna make it like whatever the matches are set up.
Oh,
He picks the people that he wins. I'm gonna pick the people that win.
Okay.
Day 1, day 2. That's
Okay.
it. We're gonna prove it. Once
Are
and for all.
y'all making an official belt? Because I seen Jay dropping the belt in the chat.
Hey,
What's that?
want it. I don't know.
Lola
that?
Vice, yo. That's Lola Vice. You ain't see her yet?
Yeah, we all know who Lola
Which one's
Vice.
Lola, the one in the black?
No, the one with the purple and blue.
Yeah, the yams.
Look, you.
All right, we got to
side,
end early. I gotta watch Lola.
you side.
She lucky Vince wasn't around. She lucky Vince
Right.
not around.
What's up? My bad.
Y'all make it official. Y'all make it official.
No, it's official.
That's all I need. That's all.
It's
I need.
official. I mean, y'all gonna do like a show? Y'all go back to back?
All right, so I don't know if you're using it in the chat side, but basically we're talking about making like a wrestling talks into a heavyweight title where we defend it on pay-per-views. So Henry has already put claim his champion, and he wants to fight hard for the belt. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So he wants to defend the belt that he don't have yet. Get short.
Hey, for the vacant, it's just for the vacant title. It's a money match, man. Fuck Rock and Roman. This is fucking Keys versus Henduce. It's been a year long argument. I defeated Trav. I defeated Trav.
You can finish your story at a later date.
Look. We want Henduce. Look. I defeated Trav. I already retired him. I shut him up. He's been always putting his 2 cents. I convinced Ant that AEW sucks. What else do I need? I need to finish the damn story and to finally shut up Keys forever.
Nah, I mean, well, it's gonna be a good one because you and Keys gonna be going back and forth, man.
So basically, I'll catch you up real quick. So basically, how we would do it is everybody make predictions on. We're gonna introduce the belt at Mania. Everybody make their prediction, and whoever has the most correct prediction is the champion, is crowned champion. And every week, you know what I'm saying, put up their predictions. And you know what I'm saying. So let's say it's 15 matches at Mania, and you get 13 right. You know what I'm saying. So going into the next pay-per-view, you'll have 13 right. and you know what I'm saying, and let's say you have 5 predictions, right? So the next pay-per-view, let's say Henry wins the belt at 13, and you win the belt, and you have 5 predictions. So going into Backlash, Henry will have 13 points compared to your 5. You know what I'm saying? So you would have to somehow out-predict Henry on the majority of the matches in order to win the belt. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we rotate the belt.
Look, if I win that title, I'm not defending that shit in every pay-per-view. I'm defending it on every big 4.
What? Get out of here, man. You've been at every pay-per-view.
I ain't defending that shit on every pay-per-view.
No, you're not, man. Nah, get out of here, man.
I'm the tribal chief, man. I'm
Come
the
on,
tribal
get
chief.
Get out of here, man. Talk about every 4th pay-per-view. Cheating, man.
I see Henry like I've been champion for 45 days. Nobody said that.
Right.
I'm the longest rated.
I'm gonna be the longest reigning champion, man. I'm gonna be the longest reigning
champion. One title defense.
Look, I'm gonna be the longest reigning champion, or I'm gonna be a 6-time champion.
Right.
Either one, pick one. I'm gonna be a GOAT. But look, all right. Say
it sounds like you cheating, man. It sounds like you
say,
trying to cheat already.
Look,
you even got the belt and you trying to cheat, right?
Look, let's do this, Jay. We all go for the vacant world heavyweight title at WrestleMania. But on the main event, me and Keith should have a separate little duel. Separate little duel. And whatever we can make another title. The BMF title or the undisputed title, I don't care. There's just gotta be a title on the line with me and Keith.
DJ Faye says, get that man the 24/7 title.
Nah, I can't have the 24/7 title. Because I'm only defending that shit for 4.
All right, yo, we gotta bounce. Listen, we thank you guys for coming on for another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I'm your host, Saheem the Dream, along with the Big Bad Booty Daddy, your man Jay McMahon and Henry Duce. Join us again as we go live this Friday after SmackDown to find out exactly what's happening with Cody and Roman. And we talk SmackDown and find out what's happening on the road to WrestleMania.
Back.
Signing off, I'm your host, Saheem the Dream.
I'm the villain, Henduce.
Boy, the protege, Jay McMahon. Let's
and
go.
the Big Bad Booty Daddy! And we'll see you guys later. Peace.
We back.
Peace.